Are you looking for relief from stress, anxiety, or pain? If so, you may want to consider trying CBD. CBD is a natural compound found in the hemp plant that has been shown to have a variety of health benefits. CBD can help relax your mind and body, reduce inflammation, and improve sleep. It is also non addictive and has no known side effects. If you're interested in trying CBD, check out our website at www.hypnotizeme.com. And remember, if you're not hypnotized, then you're not doing it right. That's hypnotizeme.com, www.hypnotizeme.com for our high quality CBD products and drinks. Hypnotize Me, a sponsor of the Bossfest podcast.
It seemed like everybody want to be a boss these days. Everybody want to be a boss till it's time to pay out, you feel me? Till it's time to pay that boss cost. They ain't trying to have them tough conversations. They ain't trying to put in them extra hours, catching that windfall money, dealing with folks not being consistent. Don't get me started on the lack of sleep, but you know what they say.
Boss Life, BOSSFEST, Bossfest podcast. Each and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, guaranteed to get you right. BOSSFEST, the Bossfest podcast. They might make you laugh, make you mad, make you cry. Either way it go, it's a vibe. Tune in, catch the topic, get the tea. Ain't no shallow waters over here, we get deep. You sensitive, easy to offend, you need to flee. But them tough conversations gonna be happening. Bossfest podcast, they hold it down. Wednesday, 7 Eastern, man, it's going down. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and y'all gather round. Get active in the comments, don't get lost in the crowd.
Hey, what's happening? It's your man DJ Bush. I had to show love to Kevin and Edwina, Bossfest Butlers. Y'all know what time it is, the Bossfest podcast. But you already know what we live in.
Boss Life, BOSSFEST, the Bossfest podcast. Each and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, guaranteed to get you right.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Bossfest podcast. I am Edwina. Nope, I am Kevin, and that is Edwina. I need to move them cameras. See, I be looking at the.
You don't even know. You don't.
Listen, man, we've been going so long, man. I don't forgot my name. I'm Kevin. You know what? We married. We are we. We are we. How you doing, babe?
I am good. I'm excited to be back. I feel like we missed some Wednesdays. I mean, the podcast still happened, but it just wasn't the norm. So I'm excited to be back.
It really wasn't the norm. So it's almost feel like it's been like about 4 weeks. Like we did the one with
already.
Brandon.
I stand with Kevin. Okay.
Listen, man. It's been about 4 weeks. We did the episode with Brandon. Then
4 weeks.
We did the episode with Brandon. We couldn't get that one to really show when it was supposed to, so we skipped a week. Then we did. I feel like that would have been about 2.
Oh, we did the Valentine's Day episode.
Then we did the Valentine's Day episode. So we couldn't really control and talk to our audience like we normally do. So yeah, I feel like it's about 3 or 4 weeks, man. I'm glad to be back. As y'all can see, scenery a little different, but normal show, normal energy. Babe, I ain't talked to you all day, baby. Hey, you doing okay, baby?
Oh my God, I'm fine. I'm doing great. Like I said, I'm excited to be back. I thank y'all for joining us this Wednesday. I'm excited about our topic.
So I gotta adjust my camera angle. There we go.
I'm excited about today's topic. So I'm just
What is today's topic?
So we talking about the blue hearts.
What is that for people who don't even understand what the hell we talking about?
Dang, can I talk? Can I say the topic, please? Dang. So the actual topic name, it's like 1 heart, 2 heart, 21 blue heart. That's the actual topic name. And for those of you that don't know, when we posted about this topic, we put like a little clip on this podcast. So it's a social proof podcast, and a gentleman was a guest on the hot seat. So this guy named David Shands. If you don't know about the social proof podcast, or you don't know who David Shands is, I encourage you to search those two up, especially if you're in entrepreneurship. Um, I think it's a must, listen to podcasts if you're in entrepreneurship, but that's my opinion. Um,
You know what's
Nonetheless,
crazy?
go ahead.
It's crazy to me that a lot of people don't really know who Shands is. Ain't that weird? Like sometimes you think people would know more about someone because they are in certain spaces and things of that nature, but then when you start like really asking around, they're like, "Who?" It's been weird to me.
It has been weird, but I mean, that's why you open people up to different things. There was a time where you didn't know who David Shands was, right? Like, um, I mean, we were introduced to David Shands, like, was it 4 years ago now?
It's about 3, 4 years ago.
Something like that. But when we first got into entrepreneurship, this conversation already went left. But anyway, when we first got into entrepreneurship, I was like, man, I want to go to a conference because like you see these little like conferences happening around town, and I don't know why I was like, well, I want to go to like the big conference. So I saw one happening in Miami, and it was called Black Equity Con. And just from the looks of the conference, that just looked like someplace I needed to be. So um, I don't know how I bribed you to go, but we went to Miami.
You probably offered me sex. I think you offered me
That
sex.
that's not I don't think that's what happened. But
Okay.
nonetheless, we went and we felt out of place, and we was like, oh, look at this. And then we completely enjoyed the experience and found other entrepreneurs in our like category or in our level who were like, oh, like I can't believe this is your first time coming, and wanted to show us different experiences. And it was just the beginning of, honestly, it was the beginning of Bossfest, and we didn't even know it. But it was when we first were introduced to David Shands. We saw him on the stage and was like, dang, okay, we see black people doing big things out here. And I was like, oh, what's this thing, the morning meetup? I want a morning meetup shirt because that's where I was right then. I just wanted a shirt. I didn't know then that the morning meetup would be like my every morning, activity. But I don't know how I started talking about that, but nonetheless.
I brought us there. So 1 heart, 2 heart, 21 blue hearts. So this is a topic I was challenged with this topic because I'm like, man, how do we really dive into this? So I'm gonna let you go ahead and get us in there so I
It's
can try
like
to jump
the,
in.
the series everyone is like engulfed in on TikTok about Who Did I Marry?
You don't assume everybody know that series because you know it.
Okay, but if you're not on your TikTok news, then what are you doing with your life? That's all I'm
Wow,
saying.
that is cold
So
blooded. So if everybody ain't looking at 40 some episodes of some bullshit on
I ain't say
TikTok,
you had to watch the 40 some episodes, but have you not heard about the episodes? And I think it's like 50 some episodes. I'm just saying
oh my
that
God.
TikTok news has taken us into this life of 50 some
Okay.
episodes about Who Did I Marry. So also TikTok news is doing Mr. Blueheart. I think that's now like his name on TikTok. He's Mr. Blueheart. So if you haven't watched it, I'm gonna tell you, you can search on TikTok Mr. Blueheart and it'll show you the clip. I'm gonna break it down though. The guy gets on a podcast. He's talking about his entrepreneurship journey, and David Shands asked him, just basic questions as you start your podcast. Hey, you got a family, like tell me about this. And he says, yeah, I got a wife. Um, he talks about like marriage being like one of the things that he's like learning from, and I can't remember the exact word. Nonetheless, he talks about how long he was married, you got any kids, and he says, I have 2 kids from my wife. So instantly, as a wife, I was like, what the hell? You got 2 from your wife? So that obviously means that there's more kids around. So I instantly became interested. So that's the same thing David Shan says is from your wife. So basically tell me more. How old are these kids? And, he says the kid's age, and the kid that's not from his wife is 2 years old. He talks about how long you're married, and he says to Mary, and he's like, I'm overcoming. And
So how long
David
has he been
said,
married?
I can't remember. Obviously, it was long enough for this kid not to supposed to be there.
Okay.
I mean, that was, like the light
No,
bulb.
no,
The
no.
kid
We
was
don't
not supposed to
assume.
be there.
Got it.
Okay, so you don't have to. Did you not look at TikTok news, dear?
I try my best to stay away
You
from
could have
fake
actually
news.
watched a
Donald
real
Trump told
episode
me
on the
to
Social
stay
Proof
away from all fake
podcast.
news.
Nonetheless, so obviously the kid shouldn't have been there, and he talks about how he's overcoming. Um, and then David says something like, "No, like your wife is overcoming. Like she's the one that's showing that she's in this and going through these trials. Like you did this to yourself." And I don't know why I can't think of the word, because when it comes to me, I'm like, we use this word a lot in the podcast. Nonetheless, so David asked him some questions about, well, since you're like overcoming, um, tell me like how, give me examples. And he's supposed to be a motivational speaker. That's really important in this story. He's a motivational speaker. So David is asking him, like how you overcome. So
So
did you
so
watch
he's
the
a
podcast?
motivational speaker. So he's a motivational speaker who cheats on his wife. Is that a profession? And has
Motivational
kids?
speaker is a profession.
No, I'm asking for the cheat on your wife part and have kids. I don't know. I feel like that man might have something great to say. You think we should invite him to Bossfest?
I think everybody should come to Boss Fest. Like, why
Oh,
wouldn't he
okay.
come to Boss Fest?
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean, what are you saying? Like, if you cheat on your wife, you can't come to Boss Fest? I'm confused.
No. No. I'm saying like, because this topic is challenging for me. Like, what are we diving into with this? That's all I want to know. You thinking about it?
No, I'm not thinking about it. So I understand. So in his motivational speaker, like, people who are motivational speakers normally give you some like profound insight into something. And David is asking him to tell me how you overcame a situation, or how you're overcoming this particular situation in your marriage, which is, you stepping outside the marriage or a relationship, having a kid, and then your wife still, being in this situation. And he starts talking about, I like to do a few things. I'm always being clever and coming up with things. And I like to text my wife, and I text her good morning. And in the good morning text, I typically, like he says, blue hearts is his shit. Like he blue heart stuff. So he says, and he's sending her a text, and in the text he say, "Hey, good morning, babe. Like I love you," something like that. And he sends a blue heart, and then all of a sudden, like inspirationally, it hits him that what, I'm gonna send 2 blue hearts. And then he says, "How long can I keep up with sending blue hearts?" So he's like, "Man, like I sent her the heart, 1 heart, next day 2 hearts, I'm on 3 hearts, and she loving it. There's no arguments. Like the relationship is going really well." And he make it to day 21. Okay, so this comment says, but he does have examples in his life where he's overcome and can motivate. Did he at least pinch the So he says, I made it to 21 hearts. And then he proceeds to say, "David, I don't know about you, but I made it 21 days with some blue hearts. I feel like I did real good with the blue hearts. Like I was going to make it a year, but I did 21 days. Bam." And as I was thinking of that, I was like, dang, you cheated on this woman. You had a baby on her, and you're proud to have sent her 21 damn blue hearts. Like that's all she's worth. And I was like, dang, sis, can I call you on the phone and be like, if all you're worth is 21 blue hearts, you need to move on. Like there's a whole bunch of other inspirational speakers you could be with that also
No,
work at the
no,
post
no.
office.
We are not in the business of breaking up happy homes. We are not in the
Is the
business of
home
breaking.
happy? Because I mean, he's just sending blue hearts,
Absolutely. That
and he
man
sent
said,
them as though she should be happy to have gotten them blue hearts.
no. Based on what you just explained, he sent the blue heart. She was happy. He sent 2 blue hearts. She was happy. She was happy up until the 21 blue hearts. Then it just kind of died off because, I don't know how much you just texting blue hearts and shit to people, but she was happy. So obviously the baby had already happened. They working on their stuff. Now he texting her, apparently, I love you, babe, blue heart. The next day, I love you, babe, too, 2 blue hearts. Babe, I love you, 3 blue hearts. She's happy. Why are we trying to break up somebody happy home? That's not what we do here. We are not in the business of breaking up homes.
We don't know if she's happy.
Is they still married?
Hold up, because still being married don't mean happy.
Fair enough. She isn't unhappy enough not to get unmarried. She isn't unhappy enough to divorce him. Let me phrase it that way.
Maybe she feels like she has to settle for 21 blue hearts.
Maybe that's the conversation. Maybe that's the conversation. Hey man, what is your worth? Is your worth only worth 21 blue hearts? Is your brand only worth 21 blue hearts? Is your love only worth 21 blue hearts?
So for me, it was the
maybe 21 blue hearts is enough.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like he thought 21 days. He set out to do a year of blue hearts. And he stopped at 21 days and then said, I feel like I did well. Here you go. You got 21 blue hearts.
That man felt accomplished. I'm not going to destroy his joy. He said, according to you, because I did read or listen to some of that clip, he's like, man, I felt good about that. Man, I don't know about you, but I did 21 days of blue hearts.
He was very excited until David started eating him up.
That man was excited. That was the longest he done put out 21. That's the longest time he done put blue hearts in the text thread. I am not going to devalue his 21 days. Maybe the next time he go at it, he make it to 30 days. I don't know. But hey.
Right. So on the next baby, he need to set out for 30 days. My point is consistency and knowing. So I think there's 2 lessons from this podcast. I haven't even gotten into like the fact that he actually had like a story of like him being a motivational speaker. But if we just stay in that moment, we're literally talking about consistency and what we accept from certain people, like what we allow people to give us that we're okay with. Because just like you said, you assume that she's okay with these blue hearts because she hasn't left the situation. She's allowing him to give her just that.
I'm not assuming anything. It is proven that she is okay with having her husband produce another child outside of their marriage. To heck with the blue hearts. There was a whole baby there.
Right. That's literally the whole point in his.
So I guess it is that topic. Like, hey, what number one.
I wish I could like just cut the screen to play like that little piece of the clip so people could understand how excited this dude was about the damn blue hearts.
And you put it on the page. It's on the Bossfest page. I'll go check out the link to David Shands and catch that clip out. But listen, so I took something different from that clip and that situation. So for me, what I took from it is that number one, I ain't supposed to be out there cheating on your wife. Definitely ain't supposed to be getting nobody pregnant while you're doing it. But number
that's
2,
what you took away from it.
Yeah, that's some things I took away from it.
That
You're not
seems
supposed to
like
you
didn't need the podcast clip to tell you that.
No, but in reality, it's if you do find yourself in a situation where you now have to recover or bounce back from, you need to give yourself some SMART objectives, some SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, time bound. Like my man said, all I had to do was put out 21 blue hearts, and we working through them. I ain't hear nothing about no counseling. I ain't hear nothing about anything else. So number one, what is your levels that you're going to accept in anything, business, relationship, love, friendships, whatever? And number two, is it even something that can be truly measured to really give you true success? He felt good about that crap. And the rest of us are looking at him like, bro, for real? 21 blue hearts. All you said, you sent a text message to your old lady every morning, or however you sent the text message and said, I went 21 days and I sent her a blue heart. There's some days you didn't even send a message, you just sent hearts. Like, how does this play out?
I mean, who knows what he sent with that, but I know can't you auto a message? Like you could auto send a text. He couldn't keep up blue hearts for 12 months, but had a whole baby on this chick that he's expecting her to stand with him and overcome together. Like we're overcoming the situation that you put us in, and to make things right with me, you are sending me blue hearts that you decided after 21 days I've had enough.
Okay, here's a smart, stupid question. What if he'd have sent 365 days worth of hearts?
The hearts
Would that
is
make the
stupid
situation
regardless.
better? Listen, I'm asking. So I'll go. Listen, I made that commitment. I told myself, you know what? Part of my process of rebuilding me is that I saw that you liked this thing that I did. I'm telling myself for a full year, I'm going to commit to this process for a full year. And I achieved the goal. To me, it seems like a great idea. To everybody else or to you, it may seem like trash. At one point, do I need to stop and say, you know what? This dream or this vision I had that I thought was very sincere or could get me to the next level really ain't worth that.
So this comment says, yes, Wayne has phone auto text us all in the mornings. So that means the phone can auto text, which if his goal was to be, I'm a text for 365 days, all he had to do was set that feature up on his phone to do that. He would have accomplished the goal that he set out to do. No one else gave him, this blue heart goal. That was his goal.
I get it. I think it's, of course, this whole conversation is bigger than what he's doing here. The conversation is about, number one for me, are we giving ourselves good goals? Are we giving ourselves the right opportunities to be successful?
I knew
Marriage,
Preacher Kevin was
life,
gonna come
business.
out. Come on.
I just wondered, like, are we setting ourselves up for success? And do we have somebody that we can bounce ideas off of and say, you know what? That idea you got may not be the best idea, but sometimes you may think that somebody is hating on your idea. Maybe you think they got a small mind. I don't think everybody's mind is small. Sometimes I think we got some small ideas, or we got some small ass dreams, and people like, man, just don't waste your time with that small dream.
I don't know if I can agree with the second part about, do you think we have some small dreams? But
so what you got?
I definitely can say to the fact that he should have phoned a friend about them damn blue hearts. And sometimes, you being able to tell your ideas to someone else, and them actually give you true feedback can mean a lot depending on what that relationship is. I think had he said it out loud to someone before he said it to the world, somebody might have said, dog, the blue hearts just ain't shit. Don't do that.
Okay. So we understand that seems like very common sense to people. Like that goal of sending this out may not be a smart goal. But what things have we put out there that we thought were smart and attainable and measurable, and we come to find out they really aren't? How do we bounce from that? How do you take criticism or feedback from that? Because I feel like if this was my friend and he told me, hey man, my wife, I did this to my wife and I want to show her my commitment. I may tell him, go ahead with your blue heart idea, but you may also need to do some more stuff. I don't know if I would necessarily downplay his blue heart thing if he be like, man, look at the blue heart, man. I sent her the blue heart. She said, thank you, babe. I love it. It really meant a lot to me. Sometimes people need simple stuff. It ain't even about the big stuff, but it's the commitment piece of it. But I'm like, all right, man,
Right,
do
but
you
he didn't
think?
even follow through on the commitment. So in saying that, when you tell someone, "Hey, I have an idea," and you have to be committed to your own idea, like no one else is going to like make your dreams happen for you. So when you tell this big dream to this small mind or whatever it is, it's you who has to follow through on it. He couldn't follow through on his year of blue hearts for 21 days as far as we made it.
All right, man, this is bigger than the blue hearts. We got it. So
I understand that. I just like talking about the blue hearts.
that crap is dead. I'm talking about real attainable goals and
You ain't gonna
dreams.
tell me I can't talk about these blue hearts.
You can talk about whatever you want to talk to. I'm just stating that for any one of us, business, relationship, whatever we're doing in life, friendships, whatever. What are the things that we're doing that we think are really valuable in people's lives that it's not getting the energy that you really think it deserves? I think a lot of times we put energy out there and we think we're doing something great or grand for someone, and it's not reciprocated the way we think. And we believe in it. We giving our best, and they looking at us like, I don't want this trash energy you throwing at me.
So I guess let's put it in perspective. Let me throw that same thing that you're generalizing to you so we can get this more specific. So
Okay.
let's say that you do a favor for a friend and you feel like it's something big, and the energy that they return is like, what is this trash? Have you been
Yep.
in a situation like that?
Yes.
All right, because it seems like you're going somewhere with this particular conversation. So we don't gotta generalize it. Let's talk about it.
What, going specifics?
Yeah, going to specifics. Like this dude put himself out there on, whatever the podcast. He talked about his blue hearts. You could tell that he was really passionate about that. So what you're saying is you've been in a situation where you were really passionate about something. You gave it a lot of energy and it was not reciprocated to you, and whoever that energy was towards probably felt like whatever you're doing is trash. So we relating that with him sending his wife the blue hearts. She probably looking at that phone like, is this blue heart shit again? Like, I guess. So tell me about that time for you.
All right. So we'll keep we'll keep it with the trend of Bossfest. So as we was gearing up for this year's event and we was looking at speakers and headliners, you know, I have my circle of friends and people that I interact with and talk to, and I ask them certain questions. I'll be like, hey, what you think about such and such? Do you know about this person? Do you see this? Do you see that? And when like the energy you give her, like, yeah, oh, I've heard of them, or yeah, oh, I know them. Oh, okay, listen, man, I'm thinking about getting them into the room. Oh, okay. Conversation dead. But before I said I'm thinking about getting them in the room, it was, oh man, yeah, man, I follow them. I'm looking at their content. I'm in a chat with them. I'm in a group with them. I'm doing all this. I'm doing that. Oh, cool. Listen, man, I'm trying to bring them to the event. Oh, okay. So I think sometimes that crap be like the energy, like it can be off-putting. You thinking you finna give somebody some great games, some great information, especially if they saying they're into this junk, and then then the energy afterwards just like it just completely dies. So I guess if I'm talking personally, that's something that's personal with me in that dynamic.
All right, well, I love this next comment. It says smart goals don't always work with emotional situations. Simply putting good out there may not come back in a calculated or measurable way. And I think we see that often. Um, so I guess the question to that is, when you're simply putting good out there, let's say, do you keep putting good out there because it doesn't come back to you the way you feel like it should? Or Measurable, or even as you say, like your friend who you were like, man, I got so and so, and they knew who it was, and yeah, I messed with so and so, and then you say, I'm about to do this, and then the energy dies. So do you stop telling your friends stuff? Like how do you
Absolutely.
react to those?
The energy died. What I realized is that, hey, if I want to continue on the path that I'm going, maybe I can't give all of this information to certain people because they may cause me to cut my vision or my dream short. And sometimes, it'd be the people that's closest to you that can either give you the most encouragement or they can put you in a place where you just don't even want to try anymore. And forget you. And I'm getting better. I'm getting better. And
I had caught the spirit. My bad. Go ahead.
whatever. Let that spirit go. And I think all we ever look to do or all we ever look to gain in these experiences, them people who you feel like is in the same space, especially if they fellow entrepreneurs. You always think like an entrepreneur is thinking the same way as you. They all have like the same mindset, but you start to realize, man, everybody ain't got the same mindset. Even in entrepreneur space, everybody ain't got the same energy. Like, it's some people that's like, how can I help the next person pull up? How can we use each other? And there's other people out there just like, how can I use you?
It's different levels to this. So I mean, you have to understand that. Like entrepreneur, just because you're an entrepreneur didn't mean that you entered like the special club of let me lift you up entrepreneurship. You still gotta find your tribe. There's some good comments out here. Um, so let me read this one. It says, yes, stop telling the friend about the situation or the topic. Sometimes you have certain friends for certain parts of your life, work, relationships, travel, spirituality. Goodness, I don't know why I just butchered that one, in entrepreneurship. It wears you down. I try my hardest to keep it up, but sometimes I have to chug the deuces up and move accordingly.
So I feel all of that, but as humans, we are emotional beings. Women are definitely more emotional than men. That's
Whoa, 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 whoa.
scientifically
I'm not gonna
proven.
let you do that
Scientifically
because
proven.
you've been around here
Scientifically
wearing some
proven.
emotions lately. You have been wearing
Scientifically
some.
proven.
Don't keep
Sci-
trying to
sci-
talk over me because
scientifically
I'm not gonna
proven.
let you do that. You've been really in your emotion. You've been in your emotional states lately.
I've
So
not been in my emotional state. What I have been doing is I have been I've been trying to understand different energies. But what I do understand is that women are more emotional than men. Scientifically proven.
no, sir. No,
I didn't
sir.
say that men are not emotional. I just said women are more emotional. More.
I
See?
heard what you said. What is it? I don't know nothing about football, but what is a flag on the play? Like you just making up things. That's not. I don't agree with your statement.
Just because you don't agree with it don't mean it's not true. No. All right, continue.
We're gonna just call it fakefacts.com. I don't
God
believe women are
damn it,
more
we back there
emotional
again.
than men. But what I will say to you, I don't necessarily agree that you stop telling the friend, those certain things. I can understand how you may take that as like being defeated or deflated, but let's put a different spin on it. What if this friend, like this particular person, you say, hey man, I'm gonna get in the room, and this friend has been watching them and like just like, ah man, like I can't wait till like I can get to the level of this person. And now their friend who they thought they were more like, let's say they thought that in this entrepreneur journey they were here and you were here, and now you come to them and you say, hey man, um your coach, your guy, your whatever, you know who that is? Yeah man, I really follow them. I mess with them. I'm gonna put them in the room, and they instantly feel like, dang, like what am I doing with myself? And maybe that was no slight to you, but sometimes things happen in people's life where it makes them take a second look, like, dang, I've been doing this, particular journey. I almost said what the person did, so I had to catch myself. But maybe I've been like moving this certain way for a minute. How did I let this person who just, started business past me? And not a slight to you and your friendship, but maybe they just started looking at things a different way, and they didn't mean to show that side, but it affected them a little bit. What if that's really what happened in that situation?
I'm not gonna know that unless it's communicated. So I can't. The only thing I can do is take the information that's given to me. And
But no information was given to you. You said they
right,
just shut down.
no information was given. So to me, no information given to me means that, hey, what I said to them, they saw no value in it, and it wasn't even worth pursuing. Even though the people that I'm bringing in the room can have a direct impact on their business and can help them elevate it to a place that can put them in a different stratosphere financially, especially if they've already been doing the groundwork and been putting in the stuff, and they just need that. Sometimes we all out here putting in the groundwork in any business and stuff. I didn't realize the groundwork I was putting in my businesses to be to this point dealing with youth sports and events. Because I've seen us put together so many youth sports events, it's kind of helped us navigate through certain things in our Bossfest event. Because I've been able to do stuff within our in our workspace, it's allowing different things to play out. All I am saying is that energy is transferable. And if I'm saying, listen, man, I got a ticket, I'm reaching out to my people. There's certain people, if I reach out to you and say, hey, I got an opportunity. Use me so I can use you. Let's use each other and build this thing up. It's because I see something bigger for everybody to eat. And sometimes,
But I got to ask you this.
Go ahead.
Do you think that you have this mindset because you're listening to certain people, you have certain coaches, you hear certain things? Do you think that's changed or help you, like, I guess, let's say, pass a couple levels of entrepreneurship 101?
So yes, all of those things help. But honestly, it's not even necessarily listening to what they saying anymore. It's me listening to other entrepreneurs in the space. And
well, that's what I'm saying.
We can go back to 21 Blue Hearts. I listened to that stupid behind interaction. So he's on David Shands' hot seat. It's a deep dive into his business. And he was like, I'm a motivational speaker, but I ain't never motivated nobody. Oh,
I like how you said you didn't listen to the podcast, but somehow have listened to the podcast. It's interesting.
Don't call me out on my bullshit.
I don't know what podcast you were talking about.
I wanted you to be able to articulate it to our people so they can understand it. So,
I didn't even get into the fact, like, when he goes to tell a motivational story. But what I'm saying to you is, even in the midst of that, he was being coached through, hey, you had this story, like, that's the best you could do in this situation. It wasn't like, I'm a down you, although, us watching it was like, whoa, but it was still like, let me just help you a little bit. I'm not saying you don't have it, but let me push you along. And what I'm asking you in this scenario is, do you think, because you hear those type of voices or you have those type of conversations, that may put you in a different level than some of the other people that you're around?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to move around different people now.
So I ask you that to say, like, everybody doesn't have a coach. Everyone doesn't get in the room. Some people think, like, I have this craft and I do this thing and people will see my value and that's what's going to make me be great. Everyone doesn't think that I need a plan to keep going. They may think, hey, I got it. I know how it's supposed to work, and that is what it is. And all I'm telling you is, maybe in that situation, the person that you were talking to doesn't have, like, the same things that you have. They're not using the same tools that you are.
Possibly, but the goal in any of this is to, number one, if you are putting out something out there, is to make sure it's something that's specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, time bound. And
oh Lord, we don't when did our little SMART goal research.
We put it out.
Didn't Donnie give you the SMART goal research?
I've been working in corporate America for almost 20 years. Corporate America gave me that.
Oh, it wasn't Donnie Wiggins, though. Okay,
you know how many times I done almost got fired because I wasn't doing SMART goals? Your boss come look at me, man, this goal you got out here ain't smart. You just trying to get it on the truck. All right, let me figure out how to make it a SMART goal so you feel better about what I'm doing here. So whatever. But that's been in corporate America. I'm just as I'm looking at some of these processes, and even going back to that interaction with that dude, it was nothing. As I watched David interact with him, I watched someone try to pick someone up who didn't know how to stand themselves. Like, hey man, I'm tearing into this a little bit, but I'm not tearing into it to knock you completely down. I'm tearing into it to give you a different process of looking at it. Because the man said, hey man, as he's talking about, some man, I'm a motivational speaker, I've been going through some challenges. Me and my wife been going through some challenges. But it's due to some infidelity. And David said, no, you ain't been going through nothing. Your wife has been going through some challenges, and she's been overcoming some adversity.
Adversity. Oh my gosh, you could have helped me out half a podcast ago.
She's had to overcome some adversity, but you really ain't had to do
See how you
nothing to
do?
just help survive. So it's learning how to play in those spaces. That's drink some more water.
And we can actually hear you swallow the water.
You got your camera fixed now?
I'm not fixing my camera. I'm charging. And no, I don't. So with that being said, because you have been, I'm gonna throw your personal business out there. You have been walking around your space in your emotional era, and I feel like people
don't
may
you
have you.
don't you do me like that to my emotional era. Not an emotional era. I'm trying to be a better me for us. So if it allows
you are trying to be a better you. What I'm asking you though,
God damn, these camera angles are just wow. Go ahead.
You won't even believe how I'm setting this camera up right now, but
I know. Go ahead.
Then you made me lose my whole train of thought. Oh, so do you feel like people are putting you in a certain emotional state? Like, do you feel like within planning this event that you have and the things that you're going through, that you are feeling very emotional about some of the things that you're going through right now?
I don't know if I'm emotional. What I will say is, and I heard just the other day, they said if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not big enough. I would say this year's Bossfest is scaring the hell out of me. And the first time we did it and we just playing around with it, there was no fear at all. Even the second time, there was no fear. Last year, it felt more annoying in certain aspects, but it still wasn't a fear. This year, it's a fear because it's like I feel the greatness that's about to happen, but it's almost like I have to get other people to see that greatness too. And it's like, man, you can't always convince people who say they want to be convinced.
So you feel like you're dragging people towards the finish line, essentially.
I don't know if I'm dragging people towards the finish line. I think people don't realize that. I only think some people are even at the starting line, and I'm just trying to get them there. To hell with the finish line. The finish line is never, in this game, is never really achieved. You just find a different track to run on. But I'm trying to get people to say they want to be at the starting line to the starting line, and they don't recognize what a line is. I'm like, hey man, I'm trying to draw you the line. Here it is. And that's where I find the challenge in this process is, especially for our area, like this is something that's unique. Like people bring in entertainers, people bring in, you'll see the rappers, the sports
Oh no,
figures
I
that'll
got
come
another
through here.
question for you.
But you don't really see it like on an entrepreneurship space in this area. And I haven't seen it. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me I'm wrong. But I haven't seen it. I've seen Plies come to Polk County 1,000 times.
1,000 times?
Listen, man, it's Plies. He in Florida. He done been to Polk County a few times. But what's your question?
So you talk about getting people to the starting line. Do you think the issue could be similar to Blue Heart guy, right? Maybe they don't feel like the message should come from you. Like he's a motivational speaker that has cheated on his wife, and his whole, mode of motivation is sending blue hearts. So maybe the issue is they feel like you're not the person to give them that message to get to the starting line. Like, why do I need to listen to you? What authority do you have?
That's a good one. Well, let's see. Consistent work history. Good reputation in the community, supporting kids, helping people start businesses, find funding, help
So
them.
you listen out for your resume?
Oh, yeah, I'm listing my resume. You asked me. I'm listing my
I didn't know we
resume.
was going to the resume. Okay.
Hey, you asked me what helps, why people should listen
I
to
mean,
me.
I'm just saying, like, have you thought about it? Like, maybe people are wondering, like, why do I follow you? Why are you the ultimate person to tell me let's go to the starting line together? Or why are you the person that tells me, hey, these are the people we should listen to? Why you is really the
It's not
question.
that.
Why
It's
you?
what is that thing that triggers you. Sometimes it isn't the ultimate person that gets you to the starting line. Maybe it's sometimes that person that says something that wakes you up. So, and I'm gonna go off topic slightly, but I'll bring it back. I was like I said, I had got a scholarship to play football in college, and I didn't take advantage of it the correct way. Got kicked out and stuff like that, and I had to go to work. And like I was like during summertime, I went to go pick fruit. So I picked watermelons because somebody said, "Man, it's easy money. You go out here, you strong. You can go out here and make this simple money, $200, $300 a day. We go out, we party, cool." And I remember doing that, and it was decent money. I went out there with my friends. We had fun doing it. So it wasn't a big deal to me. But some of the people in that space were drug addicts, alcoholics. Some people's in some bad areas. And I remember this one dude, and he's a drug addict. We were sitting out there talking. I was drinking on something. And he was like, "Man, I remember being just like you. Big, strong, fast, athletic, had all the opportunities. And I messed them up because I didn't know how to get out of my own way." Once he looked at me, I looked at him. Excuse me.
Bless you.
And he said to me, he said, "Take a good look." He said, "I'm your future. You
He was a
like your
crackhead?
future? Correct. Listen, do you like your future?" At that moment, he pulled his crack pipe out, hit that bitch, and went into a crack high. I said, "You know what? That was my wake up." So I don't know what people wake up's gotta be. I don't know if it gotta be something that dramatic, but maybe it's just the right people. Somebody saying something like, "Hey man, if you
Dang,
saying
I
that
feel
you
like
want
you
to be
took
this."
us into an entrepreneur like motivational speech, very similar to Blue Heart. Because I'm like, wait a minute, that was the speech of how people should wake up and listen and follow you.
Wait
The
a minute, that ain't
crackhead
got.
in the whoa.
Wait a minute. I said for me. I ain't say nothing about for
I
somebody
know,
else.
but it seemed like you were taking us on a path of real guidance, and you were about to
God
show us the
damn.
light and enlighten
That
us.
was
And
the
I was
light.
just like,
That
oh
man told that
Lord.
man. Listen, that man told me I could be a crackhead. Like I'm gonna be a crackhead. You don't know that I can
Well,
wake
we
somebody
know
up.
you're not a motivational speaker. We know
I
that
am not a
because I was
motivational
just
speaker.
like,
Whatever.
oh, that was the story.
What you got to say, man? I'm done talking to you. Let me drink this water because I am thirsty. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I want to go back to this comment. It says sometimes you can't choose your market chooses you. And I guess I know that to be true. I guess for me, and still asking you, like the why you, I don't know if you've actually answered that, but in this event that you're talking about, that these dreams scare you, that's still my question is why now? Why you? Why Boss Fest?
It scares me because right now I can't predict the future with it. Even last year's event, even though I couldn't predict the outcome, I still felt like I had more control. This year, anything and everything that can happen is happening times 10, good and bad. And it's like, bruh, like I just want something just to be regular, and nothing will be regular. That's why it's scaring me. Because
So I think
if
they
it,
say that though, like when you're on the verge of like something good happening or like things changing, stuff starts happening.
they say when you're on the verge of greatness, that's when all the obstacles come your way, and it's those people who can persevere through them that sees greatness through the other side. Absolutely, greatness is through all of that challenge. But can I get a break on some of the challenges? I just want a time out.
You are getting quite a few challenges.
I'm
We'll
just saying,
call
you act
them.
like you ain't with these. You
The
ain't in these
challenges is
challenges with me.
happening. Hmm?
You act like you ain't beside me with these challenges. We both sitting there like, God dang, can we get a time out on something?
Sometimes I be a challenge. I'm not even gonna
See,
hold
God,
you.
see, you
So
done changed the camera angle. I can't even put the comments up because they going across your face now. That's why I tell you, don't be touching stuff.
all right, I'll put it back. I'll put it
No,
back.
no, no, don't even touch it no more. I'm just gonna leave it alone.
But so the comment says growth is scary, and growth is definitely scary. Dreams are scary, and I guess all we can say at this point is we'll see what happens.
Listen, boss says either finna make us great or
Or
we can go ahead and sell the rights off the Boss Fest.
you gonna sell it?
I'm gonna sell the rights off. Listen, if I can't make this one great, then golly. No, but I feel like greatness is there. Like there's a lot of energy behind this. It's scary. It really is scary.
Stepping out of your comfort zone is scary. I definitely agree with that. It's definitely a level of getting uncomfortable and just I guess getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. So um your friend, I want to go back to that. Your friend who gave you no energy when you said that you were putting so and so in the room. Are you going to invite that friend to Bossfest?
No. Why would I do that? That makes no sense to me.
Are they still going to be your friend?
Yeah. I, it ain't like he did anything wrong or bad to me to end the friendship. I just know that something now, as I interact with them, certain things I won't say, especially as it relates to something I'm feeling passionate about, especially related to his business. There are certain people there are certain friends who, if I say something like that to, they're over exaggerated to the point like, man, are you serious? Are you being serious right now? Like I got one friend, if I say something like, oh man, that's so great, man. I'm excited for you. God is giving you so much praise and glory. You gonna make it big. I'm gonna be right there. But like, bro, man, okay, it's a little bit too
I'm
much.
trying to guess the friends, but that one threw me off.
Y'all, you probably guessed it on the first one.
Like in my head, you can tell that I know who it is.
Yeah, I know you know who it is.
Okay, okay.
Shit only got 4 friends. Shit.
Mm.
I got 7.
Don't
I got
count.
7.
Don't count the friends. It's okay. I just was trying to see.
It's like it's
So
like it's
you
like
feel
it's,
like
it's
one
like
hype you up too
MySpace. My
much.
top 8.
situations and business define associates and friendships. That's a good one. I feel like I need to write that down. Um, so you feel like one friend hypes you up too much, where you feel like you just gassing me, like this must be fake, and then you have another friend who, no matter what you do, it's just it's
Yeah.
whatever.
Hmm.
What kind of energy you give those friends when they doing something?
I try to be supportive, but you have to ask
Sound
them.
like you give them blue hearts.
Maybe I'm giving them blue heart energy, and that's why I'm getting energy or the over exaggerated energy. Maybe I need to work on my blue heart energy.
Because I mean, the whole thing is about consistency. Like, if you come up with a play, like you sit in your blue hearts, be consistent in that. So you have to be consistent in friendships too. So while you're seeing that certain amount of energy back, it could be that you're not a consistent friend with them. So you get what you give, and maybe that's why that's why you got
You might be onto something.
I know you're working on yourself, though. You're working on yourself. You just got to let the friends know you are also working on yourself.
I am working on myself. But before we get up out of here, any closing remarks you got?
Let me read this comment. When you're in business or in a situation, you get to see who your friends are and who your associates are. There is no realer statement spoken because dang, I feel like we learn a lesson. Not every day. I'm gonna give us at least weekly. We learn a lesson every week. Um, this thing called business is tricky though. It's you have to place people in certain categories, and sometimes the category you thought they were supposed to be in, they really don't belong there. And moving things around and shifting people as you grow and develop can be it's tricky. But so before I leave, I do want to say that Boss Fest tickets are on sale. You can get them on our website, www.boss-fest.com. Um, if you weren't in the room in October to see what Boss Fest was, I encourage you to just look at like any type of business actual conference, which is what we're bringing to Polk County. I was gonna say attempting, but it's happening. We're bringing it. If you don't know who the headliners are looking to see if this is a room you should be in, I just encourage you to research, like check out Brandon Shot Me, check out David Shands. You could go to Sleep Is for Suckers, or you could go to Social Proof Podcast. You could check out Brandon on any social media platform. I mean, and just the people around here, legit, Taj, Danisha, like these people are making moves in our local area. We have people making moves nationally and speaking on national stages, and just coming here to enlighten us and help us grow in business is really exciting. I'm excited for what April is going to bring, and I hope everyone else is too.
That's beautiful. That's a great way to close it out. So I co-sign all of that. And there you go, putting the comments across your face.
Yes, because it's just such like the comment itself, people show you the difference. Actions speak louder than words. And a lot of times, like I don't require a lot. So it just made me like kind of I was just thinking like I don't require a lot, but sometimes it's a certain type of movement that means the most to me. Or I take a step back and say, dang, you know who I thought you was. So
So
again, like I said, it's
that's
tricky.
that's 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 an interesting comment. So I know we're about to wrap this up, but next week we bringing somebody to the Boss Fest table, somebody that's in the chat, and you gave them the topic yet?
No, I didn't because you switched the topic on me. I didn't give
Oh,
it.
so go ahead and prepare yourself. So we're gonna have a special guest at the Boss Fest table next week. Local entrepreneur doing doing their thing out here in our community. And we're gonna be talking about the dark side of entrepreneurship. I had to give it a fancy title.
The dark side of entrepreneurship.
The
Okay.
dark side of entrepreneurship. And listen, y'all know me. Whenever there's somebody at the table, I like to try to be a little I don't say messy, but I like to try to be a little
Oh,
messy.
I thought you be extra. Okay.
Or extra, messy or extra. We'll use either one of those words. You can insert them. So we definitely gonna have a good time with that topic. So until next week, pay attention to the social media, like, share, follow. Tell your people they need to get in the Bossfest room if they are trying to expand their social media reach and influence. Believe me, social media engagement. That is going to be the new way that you reach people, especially in business. You no longer have to go to the radio stations. You no longer have to go to the television stations to get your business out there, recognized and known. You create enough energy within your own brand. Not only can you build money for that, you can then become monetized just by doing the same thing. So that now creates two streams of income and improves them both. And I think everybody should have a side hustle. Everybody should be trying to figure out what is that one thing that I do well that other people don't want to do and find ways to market on it. You can still keep your 9 to 5 because I think I will probably forever be a lifer 9 to 5 just because I actually got a pretty decent job and I ain't mad about it. But I like my side hustles too. And I want to be able to grow and generate those fundings. And I want to help everybody be like that. And we don't want everybody to be entrepreneurs. And we don't want everybody to be the boss. And to me, you still need some employees out here. But until next week, peace. We out.